having looked at all these different aspects of education under the Islamic perspective, looking at the teacher, the student, the institution, the administration, the curriculum, the teaching methods and approaches, and so on and so forth, let us now take an overall look at what three Islamic philosophers have said about education. Here they are. The first one is Al-Kindi, and according to him, it consists of three aspects: physics, math, and attributes of God. Now, why physics and math? Because physics, if you ever try to understand what physics is all about, physics is about matter and energy. And that is what the universe is made of. Universe is made of matter and energy. And that is the truth, that is the real, and that ties in with ontology and epistemology and that stuff. Mathematics is numbers. You can't play with numbers. Numbers are numbers. It's definite. And so that leads into axiology, which is more to do with morals and values. You learn a lot of values through mathematics. But the third thing is the attributes of God, which is religious education. So no matter you teach the math, you teach the physics, you teach the sciences, but you must teach religion as well. Equally, it's not 5 classes of math a week and 1 class of religion a week. That doesn't do it. That's what we see in many school timetables. English is 6 times a week, math is 6 times a week, science may be 4 times a week, but religion is 1 or twice a week, which is not a wise thing. So according to Al-Kindi, it is current contemporary education plus religious education as well. Al-Farabi, on the other hand, looks at it differently. He looks at it from 2 angles: theory and practice. Now, this is important in the 21st century. Al-Farabi said this hundreds of years ago. Today, it is aptly reflected and needed in our education system. Theory is knowledge about existing things. So teach all the wonderful theory, but couple it with practice. Students need practice, things that exist in action. Students should be doing things, different things, not just listening to lectures and writing notes and reading. That's not good enough. Put students into groups, do group work, give them puzzles to solve, problems to solve, decisions to make. Put them in situations where they have to show you that they can use and apply the knowledge and information that you have already shared with them and they know. So in the 21st century, education is not about knowledge and information, it's about skills. And Al-Farabi said this hundreds of years ago. So, as I said earlier also, we had all this. We gave all this to the Western world. They learnt it from us. We need to get it back from them and claim it as ours. Our own people told us to do this long time ago. We should have listened to them. Ibn Sina is the third philosopher that we're going to look at, and he categorized it into 2 types of knowledge: revelation of God delivered through the messengers and the hereafter. So, let's look at the first piece. The revelation of God through the messengers, through the prophets, all the religious teachings. And if you look at religion in a comparative perspective, you will find that there are a lot of similarities. There are differences, but there are a lot of similarities. The similarities outweigh the differences. So, looking at religious education is important. But the second piece, the hereafter, life after death. What is that? Heaven or hell? What determines life after death? How you live your life here on earth. What you do, how you do, for whom you do. All that comes through education. So you again, if you look at all 3 of these philosophers, there's a lot of commonality that runs across what they said. All 3 of them professed contemporary modern education, but they also stressed education from the past, which was religious education, because that hasn't changed and that can't change. So that education from the past, which is religion, together with contemporary education, all three stressed. Another thing that they stressed was the involvement of the students. The students need to be involved in their learning activities. That is important because when students are not involved, they become passive. And when you are passive, you're not interested, you're not excited, you're not going to learn as much. So, when we look at the whole picture of the Islamic perspective, and we've seen 3-4 philosophers and what they said, we see a common element, or lots of common elements actually running through what they tried to say. Hundreds of years ago, the West learned from us, we still have to learn. So let's try and relearn what was ours and give it to our students today.